Que paso amigos, Evan with GastroBlaw.com. Just chilling like a villain. So, back to meeting women on the internet. Wouldn't that be nice? Yes, it can happen. You have to believe it. You can't just sit there and go, that's bullshit. It's not bullshit. I got a dong today, a dong, bong. You know, like on the social media, you get a little bell sound when they like, somebody messages you, and it was a scammer. They're like, let me read it to you. Let's see what they said. Because you can tell who a scammer is easy. First, they go, hello. That's it. Some girl with a terrible name that doesn't make any sense. This literally says Lely Emily. Like, who's named Lely Emily? Nobody. So you know they're a scammer. And there's not a lot going on in her profile. She has 3 friends. 3 friends. That's a scammer. It's just photos from wherever they stole it from. It doesn't make any sense. Like, she's not in all the photos, and it's stupid, man. It's stupid how these scammers do it. Here's another one, Henry Rebecca. Why would you talk to a girl who has a man's name? You would not. This girl's just, yeah, nothing's going on in these photos. Like, they didn't even bother to like make this profile look like a real thing. And you know, you get like, you know, Henry Rebecca wants to be your friend, and you go, okay, no problem. And then you look at the profile and it's fake. And you're just like, you know, missing parts of the profile, like the top profile's missing, there's no header. It's easy to figure these guys out. They're pretty lazy. So, and you don't want to talk to these guys because they're criminals, man. They make like the industry of catfishing makes like $500 million a year. So these guys think they're doing something appropriate when they're not, and they're just out to confuse you and make you feel like crap and take your money. And you know, it's not good. So you get a little dong like, hello, and then like you get, I got hello at 11:03 a.m. from Henry Rebecca, and then at 11:21 a.m. after I unfriended them because I knew they were fake. Hi, how are you doing? Like, that's what you're gonna, and then people are gonna fall for that because they're lonely, and they see this picture of Henry Rebecca, and it's just like, oh, it's okay that a girl has a man's name. Like, no, it isn't. You ever see Ricky Bobby? What was that movie with Will Ferrell? It's not Days of Thunder. What was it called? Talladega Nights. His name's Ricky Bobby, the man with 2 first names as a name. So when you see 2 first names as a name, and you're like, that's not a last name, that's not a first name, you know they're a scammer. So how do you avoid all that? Well, you just take it as it comes, bro, and that's it. And you go, you click on them, like, who's this? Is this someone I want to talk to? They look real. Look at their profile. And then, you know, once you test the waters there, like, oh, they look like they're real, then you can message them and say, hey, I like your style. And maybe they'll write you back. Maybe they won't. Maybe you just want to unfriend them because they're a jerk. That's always a good thing to do. Like, I love unfriending people. Screw it. You know, some people use social media, you know, just to, you know, validation, feel better about themselves. They're not using it to make money or meet people, and it's just like, that's what it's for, you know. And people don't realize that it's all for same things that's going on outside your door. It's not different, you know, but people like to think it is. And you can change. You don't have to think negative thoughts and this and that. You can think, this is wonderful that I can just interact with people, and you know, they don't have to interact with me if they don't want to, but I'm still gonna try. They're, you know, like Sam Perrion talks about It's an invitation. An invitation. I invited you to go out with me, and you said no, but you're still invited anyway, even though you said no. So that's all it is, you know. If you can think of it like that, like what does a stewardess do on the airplane? They go, would you like a Coke or a water? Would you like a snack or a drink? And you can say no. And they go to the next person, you like a snack or a drink? And if you can think of it that way, you're going farther than a lot of other people, because you're not getting wrapped up in the BS and, oh, that means, you know, I'm no good because I got rejected. And I mean, you like my life was revolved around me getting overreacting about rejection for a long time. And I mean, I fought my way out of it eventually, because I was like, I gotta get over this. Why am I so upset about a girl? Who cares? So, but I went to therapy. I mean, I've had all sorts of things therapeutic wise that I did, because I was worried about myself. I said, I can't just go out into the world without any like rudder or anchor. So I used therapy as the anchor to make sure I'm not, you know, crazy. And that was like a worry I had, because I knew like I didn't have a girlfriend for so long, man, you know, and I was like the way I'm talking now, I never did that. I never talked the way I do now, not once. Like if you met me, you know, see, I'm gonna be 50 in April, so I mean, I spent like the last 10 years pretty much conquering this fear. And I had to do it during COVID, which really sucked, because I was going out, and then COVID came, and oh, you can't go out. And I eventually got so bored sitting at home, I just went out anyway. It's like, who cares if I get COVID? You know, I didn't say that to myself, but I was like, I'm not gonna worry about COVID right now. But I was in the streets, man. I was like talking to basically anyone I wanted to. Sometimes I'd chicken out, you know. But sometimes the girls don't want to talk to you, and you have to deal with that. And you'd be like, okay, you know, no problem. And you have to walk on. You have to walk on. You can't just be like this Riz crap. Like, where did this Riz crap come from? They called it Riz. Sounds so ridiculous. Like, don't be one of those people. You are not rizzing. You're looking to, you know, connect with someone and fall in love. And, you know, maybe you're looking for someone for companionship. You're not looking to Riz. You know, trust me, the times that I did that, like, you know, I'd probably been practicing, like, talking to women for a long-ass time. Off and on. Long-ass time. But, you know, I took it real seriously over the last 10 years, and rizzing's stupid. Like, rizzing gets you nowhere. Like, it's negative. And you really want to be the fun guy. You want to be like, look, we're going to have fun, and that's it. All this, like, why are you, you know, you're not going to complain about your life with me. That's not, you're not going to hang out and complain about your life and talk about negative things when you hang out with me. That's not how it works. And you can look up Owen Cook, because Owen Cook, man, he's really good at getting down to the nitty gritty of what this is all about. And so I'm kind of glad I found him on YouTube. I've had existential crises, and I just watched an Owen Cook video, and it's just like, holy shit, he just gave me the answer that I was looking for. He's kind of like my Jesus. He's kind of like the Messiah of pickup artistry. He really is. For me, at least. Maybe for you, it's somebody else. But a lot of these, you know, like I was talking to a lot of guys, even recently, and sometimes I ask them, like, who are you watching on YouTube? And they'll send me, like, basically red pill stuff. Like, people are, like, calling in and talking about their crappy girlfriend, and some guys, like, saying, well, you should, whatever. And it's just like it's easy to criticize someone else. So those videos I don't like, because like you used to hear those on the radio, and I didn't like it then either. I didn't listen to the radio when it was Adam Carolla and that other guy who was a therapist, psychiatrist guy, and they were on the radio nationally, and they would have guys call in and complain about their girlfriend. They'd make fun of them. I mean, those shows aren't it, because they're not teaching you anything. They're just like, that guy didn't know what he's doing. At least I'm not that guy. I mean, that's all it is. But you want to learn how to do this properly and have a proper relationship and a good relationship and not riz. That's stupid. When you go out, there's a purpose and you want to talk to the woman that's a potential mate and someone who's really going to add value to your life like you're going to add value to their life. And if you don't think about it that way, you're kind of wasting time, because I've been there. Like I'm clowning or some really bad comedian. It's just like, it doesn't make any sense. And once you've done it a couple times, you realize like that's not how you get a girl. There are people who do it, and I've seen Madison was a video I watched, and he literally talked to a girl that was negative for like, I don't know, 5 minutes straight, and then she started liking to him. So that goes back to the shit test idea. The girl's giving you a shit test, but it's like really awful. It's like almost like over the top. Like you would never talk to that person in real life. But if all you're after is, to have a one-night stand, of course you would do things differently than what I'm talking about, right? But one-night stands don't necessarily matter to me, because I'm in it for a long haul. I'm not in it for like instant gratification. As much fun as that is, but it's not that much fun, because you have a headache of like pregnancy, STD, like that's a headache. Drugs, you're hanging out with someone who's doing drugs. I was a DJ, and I remember the times when drunk girls would attack me because they needed validation from the DJ. And I usually was like, sometimes they were drunk beyond recognition and I had to like hand them off to their friends, and it was sad. But sometimes they were coherent and it was fun flirting with them, even though I was DJing. And it's like, you're bothering me. I'm working and you're bothering me by biting my neck. That happened once. But and I liked it. But anyway, the story is, I said, hey man, why can't we just hang out like tomorrow? Why do I have to put up with your drunk ass right now while I'm DJing? Why can't we just hang out tomorrow? But they can't, because they're trying to live in the moment, and that's all they're after. It's in their brain to like, it's in the moment. So that whole thing of like, I should have one night stand comes up, but it's gonna be with a drunk girl, and like, how is that appropriate? I don't know them. And it'd be late night, and like and I know that a girl can call a cop and say, hey man, this guy did this and that, and it'll be her word against yours. That can happen, right? Makes you think twice about a lot of things when that can happen. I've seen it happen to lots of guys that I know. And that's one reason why I'm the way I am, because it's like, I don't want to deal with that shit. But at any moment, you can have a volatile situation, and if you think there's sirens and the fire trucks and the ambulances and the cops are gonna come, you should just walk away, because in all likelihood you won't get in trouble if you walk away, because you'll just, like Owen Cook has talked about this too. That's why I like him so much. He's like, you see this like dramatic situation happen in front of you at the club with these girls you hardly know. Like, make yourself scarce. Get the fuck out of there. Even if you know them. Why would you want to deal with drama? I mean, that's the funniest thing, it's just the drama part. It's so funny. I've seen it over and over again, and I've, been susceptible to dramatic stuff, and now it's just like, no way, Jose. You can deal with your own problems on your own, babe. So, because what have I done? I've dealt with my own problems on my own. Heavy stuff. This ain't light stuff, it's heavy stuff, and I was all alone. And I'm thankful to people that did show up for me, the family and friends, but, sometimes you're dealing with stuff on your own, and that's the way it is. And why do you want to be around someone who's just, like, complaining? Like, you don't. Like, you know better. See, a lot of people put up with all that negativity just to have sex and say they could have a relationship, and it's like, that's no good. That's not the right girl for you. But they don't know that. They're just glad she's around. And that's a dumb way to think. Because you're not accepting that there's something could be better for you out there in life. So in what other arenas are you, you're such a low bar. A really good friend of mine told me once, he said, there's piranhas, there's bottom feeders and there's sharks. So you know what a bottom feeder does, you know what a piranha does. They attack. The bottom feeder just feeds off of the bottom of the ocean, the scraps. Piranhas attack anything that jumps in the ocean or makes a movement. And the shark goes around looking for a good meal or a good morsel. And it's swimming around looking for that good morsel and good meal. Somebody in the hallway on the phone. You gotta wonder what that's about. People got such interesting lives where they can just be on the phone the whole time in the hallway, like, how do I get inside the apartment or whatever. And here I am talking to YouTube to myself, to like people I don't know in the ether. I'd probably rather be the person in the hallway talking to somebody on the phone for real. I don't know. Maybe not. But what represents having a life? That's what you got to ask yourself. Is the complaining girlfriend, is that a life, or is that a pain in the fucking ass? You know, I've seen lots of dudes, more than one dude, put up with a girl who's a pain in the ass, and they get loud and they annoy other people around them because they're arguing on the phone, and they don't understand that them thinking they're in love with that annoying, narcissistic, messed up woman ruins their lives and other people's lives around them. They don't understand it because they're addicted to it. There's an addiction part, like a cigarette. So don't fall for that. Just like you wouldn't want to smoke 10 packs a day. So like don't fall for that. Let's just you can compare some of these women to like nicotine. It's just addicting. Oh, I wake up today and I'm gonna argue with my girlfriend. Like, that's so stupid. I'm pretty sure my family did that, and like what it did to me witnessing that as a child was it made me afraid of confrontation. And what's the most important part about picking up women? Confronting the woman you want to be with. So that's why I had such a hard time, because I don't want any confrontation. So of course I wasn't chasing women and getting involved, and that sucks. There's all these things that happen to us, and it scars us for life, and we have to go get therapy and do these things to try to like shake it off, and it's really tough sometimes. But that's why I allow the internet to be a resource for me to meet women, because screw it, it's like it's right in front of me right now. I have a big giant TV screen and a laptop connected to it, and I have a mouse, and I could just attack it. I mean, sign up for my free PDF. I'm giving this free PDF away. It's like 85 pages, and like I spent like a couple months just, I don't know how many women I messaged, but it could have been 1,000 or 500. Like it was like I was a B2B salesman in the morning. That's what it's like. And a lot of pickup artists compare like this kind of like pickup artistry to sales, and then so that's why you gotta let rejection just bounce off you like rain. Like you have a raincoat on, an umbrella, and it just bounces off of you. And that's tough, because think about it. What if like the woman of your dreams was in front of you and they had a freak out session? Like, do you have the cojones to like not react to that? A lot of us, that's a very touchy subject for all of us, because nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about like, oh, your girlfriend's annoying, why the hell are you dating her? It doesn't happen when you're older. When you're younger, you can say crazy shit, but when you're older, you just kind of accept that everybody has this weird relationship. And then I can think of lots of people I know. I've learned so much about like business and everything, and I didn't know that like people just disappear from your life once you try to like improve yourself. I didn't know that, and I see it over and over again. Like Bob Proctor said it, because he was like, I'm gonna be rich, and then all his friends abandoned him, and it's just ridiculous what happens when you try to better yourself and actually be curious about life and do something different. Other people do that too, and you separate, and it sucks. I'm going through a lot of that right now, and it's okay. I'm gonna make new friends. Just because the way I feel today doesn't mean it's gonna be like this tomorrow or the next day. Excuse me. But I got off track of what I was saying. Do this for the next 90 days, Napoleon Hill. If you want to do that with me, I got it up on the YouTube. Dr. Joe Spinza's got a good one, good meditation. It's quantum meditation. Look that one up. I'm trying to discipline myself to do that one every day because I got off track and I got really depressed about things. Rightly so, but it doesn't help to dwell on when I'm being depressed. It helps to think new thoughts and what I'm capable of and what could happen in my life. And you know, it's not because of like other people, or it's me. So it's just me. Excuse me. But and it's just you. So, and you know, like I try to be an inspiring person, but a lot of stuff I've talked about is real, and especially on this subject. But it doesn't make sense to be fake on this subject, because we've all seen people who are just like, I just want to, you know, have the orgasm and relieve myself, and that's it. And there are people out there who do that, which is fine. But what I'm talking about ain't that. It's something I'm looking for something a lot different than this idea of just having sex with strangers. Like, come on, you don't want to have sex with a stranger. You don't want that girl to be a stranger to you. That's crazy. And I saw something crazy today. There is this, it's hard to understand other people when you see a meme like this. But there was a woman who was in the, YouTube sphere for having sex with like 1,000 of her fans or something in like a day or something weird. I don't know what the hell. I forgot. Sorry, I'm showing you my armpit. Sorry. I'm like a girl. Like, what the fuck am I doing? That's fucking crazy. I'm so sexy. I'm too sexy for this shirt. Anyway, and then like it was a picture of like her boyfriend with a ring, and he's saying, you know, everybody else can have her holes, but I have her heart. And it was just like, okay, how'd you, I mean, but I understand, like, relationships, like, you get involved with somebody, you can get tied up in it, you're like, yeah, and it's great. So but that's, I guess, his way of understanding what's happening to him by making a meme like that. I don't understand the meme. It could have been bogus. All these things can be bogus. We have AI now, so when you say something, it's like nothing's real. But it was just like this bizarre, like, this is the girl that had sex with lots of people to become like YouTube famous or porn famous or whatever. And this is her boyfriend asking her to marry him. It's like, oh my god. I don't think you should advertise that, honestly. Like if I was gonna marry someone, I don't think I would blast it on the social media. I mean, there'd be times, but I don't think it'd be like, oh, today, look what I'm doing, and here's a prank. And those pranks are out of control. I saw one where there's this, you know, they're showing off their child who's like who belongs, you know, in show business, because she's got, you know, she's like a good actress at like age whatever, and they just show off their daughter all day long. It's like, it's adorable, but it's just like, oh my god, could you imagine doing that if you had a family? You're just like, probably not. But I can see like how that would be, other people would watch it, because it's all about voyeurism. Like, all this social media stuff is about voyeurism and looking into other people's lives. It's crazy. But back to the pranks, like, you know, you get a girlfriend and you make a prank and you put it online, and it's just like, that doesn't make any sense. I can see you pranking sometimes, but this idea that you're gonna get it on a video and put it online and exploit that. And granted, I think some people get a kick out of that, but I don't think your relationship's gonna last long if you're doing that all the time. I think a lot of these videos I see, you know, those couples don't last long, and if you looked it up, they'd be divorced and shit. Because what they're trying to do is say, my life's awesome, check this out, and yours isn't. I mean, that's really what they're doing. And they're trying to they're trying to validate their life through the YouTube videos and the likes and all that, and it's just wrong. So I think, you know, all of us deep down understand how private, you know, our relationship is, and that's why we're also respectful to each other when someone's in a relationship. It's like none of my business, you know. And I mean, I know I say that all the time when someone talks to me about their relationship. I go, none of my business, man. What do I know? It's cool that you're talking to me about this, but in the end, it's none of my business, and I really can't give you advice on you and your woman. That's usually how I roll when I'm having serious talks with a friend. And that's appropriate, but this idea that you're going to exploit them on a video camera is just crazy. I don't think I'm going to be doing that. But I can see it like sometimes, but you know, like the other thing is the podcasting, where like you have a podcast and your girlfriend comes along and joins the podcast. That's like this podcast right here. Like if I get a girlfriend, she's like right here giving her advice. I've seen that too. That's interesting, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think traditional relationships are pretty awesome. I think you gotta have one. I think if you can, you know, go for the traditional relationship, you're doing something right. And it may take, you know, a lot of work to do things like the way you want to do it as a man and the way she wants to do it as a woman. It may take a lot of communication, a lot of work. But it's such a private thing. It's not about other people interfering, you know, like with my family and friends, I don't interfere. You know, there's a time when I had all sorts of opinions, and not anymore. I don't interfere with someone's relationship because it's just not appropriate. And that's how you gotta look at it. Because you will get one, trust me, and you're gonna have to abide like the dude, you know. I don't know why I went on that tangent, but I did. But there's something about the privacy part, you know, it's like, that's why marriage is sacred, and that's why sex is sacred. There's a privacy part. And we've gotten to a point where we're just exploiting it. And it's not even like 1969, it's something different. You know, 1969 was a very dangerous time because of the drugs and free love. I mean, it's a beautiful idea, but the reality was it was very dangerous. And we've gotten to this point where we have forums and communities, and lots of things go unsaid. And oh, but it's about, you know, the hippie new age thing I did. And you know, have you ever heard of like people getting together to cuddle in a group? Like, that's not my thing. That kind of scares me, honestly. Like a group of people cuddling. That doesn't make any sense. Like complete strangers. Like, I know it's safe to cuddle, and nothing wrong with that, but it's just like, come on, man. But it opens doors to so many things, like all these other dark things. And I mean, sometimes they're presented as not dark. They're just love. But a lot of, like I've been a DJ, there's dark things in there that without a doubt they're there. And, but it's not my problem. If I'm a DJ, it's not my problem if the ambulances and the fire trucks and the cops show up. It's not my problem. But there I was, you know, providing the music for the riot, you know, or the entertainment or the dancing or the loud music. But you just can't dwell on it, because it's always going to be chaotic. And if you could have a good relationship with someone, you're going to be so fucking happy, and the chaos won't matter anymore. And you know, just to know that like I have, you know, I watch a lot of these videos, and a lot of these videos about, you know, like ancient Egypt and all this dumb stuff. It's interesting, but these people are godless, and they're talking about Egyptian gods, and they don't have God in their life at all. And it's just it's bizarre to me that you would just go to a place like Egypt and just be an antenna for all this weird shit, you know, like that's what people do because they're so empty inside. They have to be an antenna for all the chaos and the devil, man. And that's no fun. It's no fun to be around people who are doing that. Like the ayahuasca trips, like, come on, man. Oh yeah, it changed my life. I really got it. Because what are they saying? They're saying, oh, there's entities in there, and they talk to me, and the same entity talked to this guy and that guy. It's like, that doesn't sound like fun to me. You know, like you could, like the birds are singing outside. You could just access nature, and you know, because what these DMT trips and everything do is they're trying to imitate that, and that's the deception. Like I played video games before. I don't need to be in a video game world for real. Like I'm Tron. No thanks. But yeah, the birds are singing outside. You can go access it. I could go access it right now. God's gifts, and so a lot of the stuff on the internet is very bad, and but you can find God on the internet too, just like I'm talking about finding a girlfriend. So hey man, we went down a rabbit hole today. Who cares, you know? All right, talk to you later. You have a nice day.